Oh, thanks. I'm just sending out all the annoyances to the people who, are gonna get double pinged. Hey guys, it's Editing Freya. In lieu of the Wolfling run today, here's the footage from last night's stream. It didn't occur to me in the moment to record the chat itself, so I've trimmed out most of the dead space. Thank you to everyone who joined me for game night. I had such a blast. Hi, Aiko! I'm a little nervous. I've never streamed before. Hi, Carithina! Ah, this is fun. Okay. This is gonna be good. Hi, Verm! If somebody has a username I don't recognize, I'm gonna cry, because I know a lot of people don't have the same username on Discord that they do on Twitch. Is my volume okay? Can you guys, like, hear me alright? Cool. Okay. Yeah, and, I don't know, how many people said that they would join, but if we have, like, a bunch of people in the chat, then we'll start at, like, 7:15. Hi. And if we don't have a lot of people, then we'll start at, like, 7:20. I think it's set up currently so that, people can join late, so that's fine. And also, we have quite a few people already. I'm actually surprised people are showing up. I was worried that the time zone thing would be more of an issue. Anyway, what do streamers usually do, when they're waiting to start whatever game they're planning on playing? Do we just talk? I can just talk. Gotcha. Ooh, I don't have any mini games prepared. I do have some cool stuff to share, though. Hedonic Ghost already knows about it, so does Aiko, and I think Carithina. I don't remember if you actually saw it, because when I do YouTube posts that aren't videos, they're spin the CCSF wheel. They don't always, like, get shown to people when it's not a video, but, yeah, okay, so this is going to be released in time for the festival. I will make absolutely sure of it, but, I've been working on this, and, oh, hang on, the join me thing is, there we go. I've been working on this, and, it is probably, like, the coolest thing I've ever done. So this is the Eco port. I've always felt like, Creatures 2 has one of the most lively ecosystems I've ever seen in a game. And so I did my best to recreate as much of the Creatures 2 ecology as possible, and then I'm, like, coding it up for, Creatures 3. Yes, there is a white card shortage. So, yeah, everything that you actually see in here is done in the game except for the fireflies, which I still need to code up, and that's why, the videos have been missing a couple of, promos, yeah, that's the word. The little agent trailers that I like to do. Sometimes I will work on this instead of recording those trailers, because, I mean, how cool is this, really? So, in the game, when you get the doozers, you have a population of 5 doozers, and they have a 1 in 5 chance to be blonde, a 1 in 10 chance to be albino, and a 1 in 100 chance to be melanistic. The Venus flytrap is, in the jungle, and it eats rock lice, mosquitoes, and dragonflies, and, it's got really, really bad aim, but I'm really proud of the animations. Actually, I'm proud of all the animations for this. What else? Borland, I haven't figured out how to make him eat the Xanderfish, so I'm working on, like a lore reason why he doesn't do it in Creatures 3, instead of taking the time to learn the chaos. But the Xanderfish, I modified the Creatures 3 Kingfisher so that it can eat the Xanderfish. And, yeah, here, I did 2 other renders. There's this one that's like a close-up of the little marching troop. You can see the melanistic doozer in the top left. And, the little albino fella who's tripping on the vine. And the ones that were holding hands over here, they are in peril. The original render did not have the Venus flytrap, the one that I showed to Aiko and Carithina on my channel, but, I added it in today, as well as the fireflies, and I feel like it just adds so much, you know, dynamicism, and visual interest, and some other artsy-fartsy words that I should probably know as an artist. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about the EcoPort project. It's, Whew, it's taken up a lot of my time. Oh, and there's a goldfish too. The goldfish show up in the desert pond. I'm thinking about doing the creatures to cacti as well, but it depends on whether or not I have the time. This is what I picked up Blender for the record. I started learning Blender earlier this year so that I could make agents and stuff, and the reason why I picked it up in earnest was because I got this idea since Creatures 2's anniversary is the theme of the festival, and so, yeah. Yeah, no, I just like staring at it. Here, maybe I can, like, put my video over that? There we go. Yeah, so you can still see me. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, he's got those big empty eyes. I love him so much. You made it your wallpaper? Yes. Borland fought valiantly in the Xanderfish War. No, I love the snails, though. Do I have the snail? Yes, the snail is in frame on this one. Okay, is everybody in? During Picasso's often overlooked brown period, he produced hundreds of paintings of... Oh yeah, and I know that you guys can, like, see all my cards. That's, not an issue I'm very motivated to find a solution for. And, I know that not everyone has played every Creatures game out there, so you can discard any cards that you don't understand. You can also just throw out cards that are, like, not Creatures related. We obviously can't do that with the black cards, but, since I did have to supplement with an additional deck, you know? I just saw that it said you threw away the Holy Bible. Hundreds of paintings of 1 hour stupidity syndrome. Ah, hand size 5. Okay. Oh, I am 5 white cards short. Okay, you know, I can just do that, right? I was not expecting this many people. Sure, go for it. I think we have a Borland card. Yes, we have a Borland card. Do's or Abuse, that's a good one. Submarines. Steve Grand. Piranha Pond. Oh, I didn't see Airlock. Cobbs. CAs. Oh, I have Eat Elevator Syndrome. Let's try with this. Okay, I will add that last one. Okay. Okay. If we play more than one round, I will add Muko's uncomfortable grumbling. If we do this in subsequent years, it will probably get started much, much faster, because I'll have had, like, a whole nother year to think of cards. Thank you for all the suggestions in the chat, Spaceship Rat. You guys, you can feel free to keep them coming, because, like I said, I will add these if we do more than one round. Surprise. Frognorns. Stickle. Trout. Dying out. Ah, you won't have to worry about that if you get the Eco Port. Subtle plug. Actually, I found that, the pressure that the stickle trout get from the kingfisher is relieved a lot by having the Xanderfish as an option, too. Or maybe I just, like, got an updated stickle trout. No, a ton of Albia on Albia just took me out for some reason. Love the festival plug. Yeah. Yes, we can absolutely have the Holy Bible. Should I be reading these out loud, do you think? Or would that get annoying? Oh, I haven't thought about anti-disestablishmentarianism in ages. Alright, I will read out the winner. The greatest creation of the She was floating lemons. Oh yay! My world took a dark turn when my Norn started experimenting with visible Nornstool. Now see, one of my strategies is, sometimes I'll hold on to my blank cards until I know that the card czar is going to be somebody I can bias the result towards. So, like, if Aiko were the czar, I would try to do, like, a magic words thing for one of the responses. What do Norns smell like? Bioenergy. Ah, I was hoping we would get this one! If you're not gonna use the card, you can say what it is in the chat, and, oh no! Yeah, true warm blood obesity, oh boy, a couple years ago, for those of you who aren't aware, I I used an event called Famine, which removed all of the food from the world, and it had to wait to grow back. Beggars can't be choosers, so the Norns wound up having really poor diets, and they all dropped dead of heart attacks within, like, the first half of the festival, and so I had to come up with just random stuff to fill in the rest of the days. There was a lot of, like, mini-games, and I think that was the year I, did a Norn remix of Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger by Daft Punk. A little dance. I could do a little dance. At least one delayed episode. You're gonna get that whether you like it or not. Didn't I already release the Salt Lick? Oh, I can like more than one. Cool, cool, cool. Little dance. Aiko thinks I should create a secret underground Etten society, and consider it done. I will do it. I did not disable discard. Since, not everybody's, like, played every Creatures game, and, like, some of these might be a little bit niche, like, a well-concealed reference to the Vietnam War, I think, is, if you know, you know kind of thing. And so I wanted people to be able to, like, discard anything that they really weren't familiar with. You know, if I wanted to make life easier for myself, I could just release this as the video for tomorrow. A Grendel-breeding heretic is a sure sign of Albia's decline. Okay, so I left the discard option in there in case there was something that you didn't understand, not so that you could, like, just re-roll until you get something good. Like, I won't stop you from discarding unless it gets to be, like, a problem, but yeah, that's what that's there for. Okay, these creatures seem to eat only garbage. It could only be the hand. I do eat garbage. Yay! Maybe she's hatched with it. Maybe it's accidentally creating lesbian reproduction when trying to patch non-binary errors. We do not have breaded Norn! Oh my gosh, yes! Okay. These are all really good. Gotta do the load time. Science will never explain Creatures Cave's load time. Oh yes, somebody should do a Creatures lore iceberg. Wait, I could do that. I'm like... Creatures YouTuber of the week. Truly, it's always the CA links. My Norns are suffering from doozers. I feel like a Creatures meetup would be a lot of fun, but also, like, the time zones, it would be so hard to coordinate, and travel is so expensive these days. But if we ever do host a NornCon, I will try to be there. Okay. The Creatures Village hair-stealing machine is worse than Deathcap mushrooms. The hair-stealing machine would always, like, get to my Norns when I wasn't watching them. I don't think I've ever actually seen it on my screen. I've just found my Norns bald. Thank you for appreciating my spaceship one. What's a Grendel's worst nightmare? Sour grapes, mighty man muscles. My Norn's latest hobby is stabbing a spaceship with another spaceship. The lone she never expected to see small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri through the warp. How much time do you guys have, by the way? I know it must be getting pretty late for some of you. I was not going to give chat context. However, I need to inform you that at this point in time, Spaceship Rat told us that she was going to stay up till 4 AM, and that is precisely what she did. I was left both impressed and a little concerned. Spaceship Rat, you need sleep! What's a Norn's worst nightmare? A partially regrown carrot still in their hand. Yeah, that was brutal during Creatures 1. The CCSF is the gift that keeps on giving. Heck yeah, you heard it here first. Yay! The CCSF would not be complete without me getting antsy and spinning the wheel way more often than I say I'm going to. Oh, I'm a sucker for a pun. Creatures 3 is why I don't play Creatures anymore. No, C3 has, like, a special place in my heart, because it was the first, like, mainline Creatures game that I got working. As a kid, I played Creatures Village, but, Oh, yeah, no, that's a fair criticism. I had tried to play Creatures 1 and 2 prior to trying Creatures 3 for the first time, but I had a small problem of being 4 years old, and it didn't occur to me that I had to double-click on an egg in order to bring it into the world, and I didn't feel like reading the manual, so I didn't. And, so Creatures 3 with the buttons was the only one where I figured out how to actually make eggs. I think the Creatures 2 art style is my favorite. It definitely has, like, my favorite ecology, hence why I decided to do the eco port. But, I feel like the organic sci-fi effect of Creatures 3 is really cool. Oh, I got Trilogy. What's an Etton's worst nightmare? Gadgets that can't be picked up. Yeah, no, after I became obsessed with Creatures Village as a kid, I got a copy of Creatures Trilogy, and so I just tried them all sequentially, but gave up after like 5 minutes if I couldn't make it work. Okay, hot take, I liked the perma-smile as a kid. I know that, it makes more sense to, have the expressive Norn breed so that you can tell how they're feeling at a glance, but, their sad faces just made me sad when I was a child, and so I never used the expressive Norns, I always used the perpetual smiles. Just so that I wouldn't have to look at them being sad when I didn't know how to take care of them. I've got a soft spot for wall bonking. The She have gone too far this time. Norns were never meant to withstand that amount of wall bonking. See, by the time I actually got Creatures 3, there must have been like an update added because the expressive Norns were always an option that I had. What's that sound? Blowing up your homeworld! No, the first thing I would always do is, well, after I was old enough to learn what the command line did and stuff, I would, Targ Hot's attribute, like, 198, or whatever it is that would let me pick it up, for the water plants in the Norn terrarium, so that I could bring it over to the jungle terrarium, because, I was still a kid at the time. I wasn't able to, like, download anything for myself. So I would do that. I would take a balloon bug, Targ Hot's ACCG, like, some insane number so that it was constantly being smushed into the ground, and I would drop it in the Norn pond, because the trout could eat it forever and it wouldn't actually kill the balloon bug. And then I would spend the rest of my time in the aquarium. Nothing says Eam love Norn like slapping each other to death. Oh my god, and it's slapping them Saturday! Yay! Putting a balloon bug in the trout pond is not a card, but it can be. Do you think if I try to update the deck in the middle of a game, it'll break everything? But there are bees in Creatures 3, they just don't make honey! Why was honey not included in C3DS? Bees on a spaceship? Are you mad? What do Ettins smell like? Oil, grease, and theft. Oh yeah, I can stop at half past and update the deck. That's a great idea. The Wolfling run was ruined by the Elevator Enthusiast Society. Oh, and by the way, all of you are free to, like, DM me on Discord with any feedback you have regarding this, because if I do this again next year, I want to, like, you know, improve on it, as an event. Even if I don't do, like, cards, if we just have, like, another game night, I really like having a game night. The best part about Docking Station is sending the most annoying creature possible through the warp. Oh, and the Vietnam War thing is, in Creatures 2, the sound that the doozers make when you click on them... Hold on. I wish I hadn't lost the instruction manual for Secret Adventure Mode! The doozers in Creatures 2, the sound that you make when you click on them, if you play it backwards and slow it down, it's a group of people who worked at CyberLife shouting, "Hell no, we won't go," which was a popular protest chant during the Vietnam War. Oh wait, I completely forgot that I said I was going to end it. Okay. True warm bloods need a balanced diet, plenty of Norn Olympics, and not too much dodging piranhas in midair. Okay. Oh! Oh, I think that means I won. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Configure. Decks. Many decks. This might take me a little bit. Bear with me. Okay, okay. I'm cutting it off here. Even if you put more in the chat, yeah. Oh, no, no, I do want those. Okay, you gotta stop giving me good ones. I said stop giving me good ones. I actually really like the look of the Forest Norns. But yeah, no, the Purple Mountain Norns bothered me a lot. Oh, this black card specifically, even though it's not explicitly creatures, I had intended it to go with the, blowing up your homeworld white card. Mine is stuck. I'm gonna refresh. Let's hope it doesn't break the stream or the game. Okay, I didn't see what won that last round. Ah, there's no better way to make an exit than a Bibble musical number commemorating your death. I have a really soft spot for DJG. Back on my old Windows 98 computer that I first played Creatures on, I set DJG as my Windows startup sound. The She's secret weapon against the Grendels was submarines! Oh heck. Oh, I should write down that I promised I would create a secret underground Etten society. Okay, I have to do Stinger Hive Destruction Derby next on the Wolfling Run, along with the secret underground Etten society. What do you mean by that? Do you mean, like, I would create a bunch of stingers and destroy them myself, or should I command the Norns to do it? Because I feel like that might be ultimately harmful. Then again, I do need them to start dying quicker. I don't think stingers can kill. Get an ace. Yeah, I don't remember either. I hardly ever see that toxin. Stinger, honey, agent. Jotting that down. Who stole the cheese? The hand. Oh, I've been meaning to say this on my YouTube channel for ages now, and I keep forgetting. I started a podcast. It's on Swellcast, which is like this really obscure app that nobody's ever heard of. I certainly didn't hear about it until they invited me to start a podcast with them. But, I mean, like, there's like a web version too, so that's cool. It's a marine biology podcast. I figured that if I'm going to go into marine microbiology professionally, I need to start keeping up with the literature, and so that means reading a lot of papers, which I'm not very good at. And so I'm trying to break them all down into layman's terms to make sure that I understand them myself, and then put that out into podcast form. It's called Beneath the Surface, and it uses, the background music from the Creatures 3 Aquarium. The Lone She's latest hop through the warp led him to a world inhabited by larger-than-life sentient doozers. But somebody submitted the Lone She, that's also pretty good. Yeah, no, between that and then, like, my whole scientific illustration gig that I've got going on, I feel so sciencey. So sciencey for real. I'm going to a conference in February. Do I look like the sort of person who attends conferences? You know? I'm just a nerd. The real reason the Lone She was left behind. Breaded hatchling Norn. I actually don't recall if it was hatchling or hatching. I know it, absolutely blew my mind when I found out it was called Wolfling Run and not Wolfing Run. Nothing says Eam Love Norn like pages and pages of Creatures fanfiction. I wrote Creatures fanfiction as a child that, never saw the light of day. I don't even think the file exists anymore. But it was a forbidden love story between a Norn and a Grendel. I thought I was so cool. I can't have been any older than 10. Did any of you guys read the Chronology series? I think that was what it was called, of fanfiction. I remember loving it. I don't know if, like, as an adult, if I read it again, it would hold up. The most effective punishment is to give your Norn a dose of waiting for creatures online. The Lone She never expected to see the god object through the warp. I never publicly posted any of the Creatures fanfic I wrote. I could write Creatures fanfic as an adult. That is a choice I could make with my life and my limited time on this earth. You are much braver than I am, Lissy. I've written 2 fanfictions. I've posted one of them. And the one that I posted was very, very short. And the other one, I'm, like, waiting until I've proofread it 100 times, and... yeah. No! Doozers that do doozer abuse. I gotta do the doozer abuse. It's the trend right now. It's like the new running joke of this year's festival. You had a South Park Creatures story? I need this. I don't even care if it's bad. Did you know that there is a gene in fruit flies that causes them to just drop dead, and scientists named that gene Kenny? The Lone She's latest experiment involved combining Creatures Alchemist and countless error messages to create a bizarre Norn breed. Now, my one published fanfiction is for Don't Starve, and, my fanfiction that I've been sitting on to revise is an Among Us fanfiction, but I promise it's not, like, cringe. I mean, it might be cringe. Cringe is different for everyone. And even if it were cringe, I wouldn't care, because I'm, like, shameless about it. But, it's nearly 30,000 words, and I went hardcore into writing that. I made a map of the spaceship that it takes place on, and it's on a hidden page on one of my NeoCities, and if you, like, hover over it, it lights up, and if you click on it, then it blows up the image, and you can see where everybody's, like, quarters are, and yeah, no, I'm currently making, ID cards for all of the crew, and I'm gonna do, like, an audio version. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube, and no one's gonna watch it except you guys, because you heard me talk about it, and so when you see it go up, you will feel guilty if you don't, if you don't listen to it, so, yeah. Creatures Discord Among Us, absolutely. I would be so down for that. The best part about Creatures 3 is insufficient bioenergy. For the record, I'm bad at Among Us. I've only actually played it maybe twice. So it's really odd that I would write Among Us fanfiction, but I'm way more interested in, like, the plot, than I am in actually playing it. Not that there was much plot to begin with. I know they've updated things since, and I ignore all of the updates, with regard to the fic. Oh yeah, no, if you haven't seen all of the, additional tasks they added, there's one that's like, you cleaning the vents. And the funniest thing is, in the original draft of my fic, they were going to kick somebody out because they were cleaning the vents, and that was sus. And then, they added it to the game, like, months later, and I was like, dang it! Now that it's an actual task. What do Ettins smell like? Saffron, marigolds, and additional theft. But yeah, no, I feel like because Among Us was such a blank slate, because we don't know what the imposters are, where they come from, why they're doing what they're doing, it gave me so much wiggle room to just make stuff up. And so, genuinely, it's not a very, like, action-y narrative. It's like 70 to 80% exposition. And that's just how I write. Which is why my other fanfic is a Don't Starve fanfic, because Don't Starve takes place in the early 1900s, and apparently I already write like I am a gentleman from the early 1900s. Lissy, if you like fics that are imposter-centric, you might like my fic, because the main character is an imposter, but they're really bad at it. Because they're not good at picking up on social cues. Lissy, I see you just DM'd me. Tell you what, fic for fic, I will send you my Among Us fic. It is long, though, unfortunately. You can be my beta reader. The Capilata was ready for docking, a rather violent maneuver which involved being abducted by the holistic learning machine. However, I will refrain from clicking that link, just in case it, exposes your fanfiction to the stream. Oh man, we're going overtime. I didn't even realize, heck. Okay, just a couple more, because I'm having a good time. Bony Grindlegs is clever for this. The CCSF has banned the unwavering smiles of unexpressive Creatures 3 Norns during Wolfling runs for giving creatures an unfair advantage. You know, tomorrow's video is definitely gonna be late, and you guys will just have to forgive me for that. I will always like sternum. Why was honey not included in C3DS? Invalid targ error. Alright. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I don't have, like, a scripted outro for this. It's so much easier doing YouTube videos when I just say the same thing every time. Yeah, congrats to Corim Knight and Lep. I'll see you guys later. Thanks again, have a good one.